Welcome back to another live. Today I am going to go through something again that I think is really, really important. And we're going to go through what is happening energetically between now and early December, where we're going to be traveling through what we call the fear gates. Now, for those of you that have never had your human design or astrology done or anything like that, this is perfectly fine, because whether you like it or not, we're all not only going to go through this, but we're already in it and we're already feeling the energies, because I started around the 17th of September. So I'm sitting here going, oh my God, everyone's been coming up to me going, what the hell's going on? So this is why that I'm doing this video, and I want to help you guys out and give you a better understanding of what's going on and how we can manage this and beat it. So I'm going to turn the camera around just for a moment, because I want to show you guys something that you may never have seen before. And I'm going to quickly go through all the different fear gates that we're all going to be going through, what they mean and how to tackle it. So give me one moment. All right. Okay, so right here is what we call, this is a mandala chart, and this is what we call your human design chart. So if you haven't had this done before, let's just say this is astrology on steroids, because we actually end up covering 5 modalities in the one in this chart, which is why it looks quite detailed. Now, as you can see here, I've actually circled where we are. So what happens is that we start the year and we start traveling around this entire mandala. Okay, my finger's a bit wonky here. And we go through these different energies. So around the same time every year, we go through these energies, which comes from what we call is the spleen here. So for those of you that know chakras, we normally have 7 chakras, but as you can see on this chart, we actually have 9. So this is a lot more detailed. Now, these areas here, we go through every year. Around exactly the same time of the year, we start experiencing the same stuff. But this year, we're in a shit fest like we've never felt before. So you know how you finished 2018 and you went, oh my God, I hope this is going to be so over. And then you got into 2019 and you went, what the fuck? We are still feeling the pain. Well, we're going to feel it for the rest of the year. So what's happening is between the dates of the 27th of September and the 8th of December, we're actually going to be feeling all of this intense energy here. So what the spleen represents is it represents your caring and your fear gates, which most people don't know, but it covers the fears, a different kind of fears. So we've got, and these are the different gates that we're going to be going through here, and we're going to be going through them in a sequential, which is why I've actually popped it down here. So feel free to take and get my hand still, take a screenshot, but this is how we're going to go through them. So we've already been since early September, we have been in the fear of imperfection. So we've gone through imperfection. Right now we're sitting in the fear of inadequacy. We're also today, we're sitting in the fear of failing, but we've also been through the fear of the future. And then we're going to go through the fear of failing and fear of life having no meaning, and then the fear of the past. So for those of you that have, and I'll take 2 seconds to explain this, for those of you that have had your charts done, this one, actually I'm looking at this, is this my chart? No, this is not my chart. This is a normal one. But you'll see that we've got in the chart here, we've got some colored in areas and we've got some open areas. So for those of you that have had your chart done before, the colored in areas is basically means that they are defined. So what happens is it's how you feel things, and it's consistent energy that you feel all the time with anything that's activated, any of these lines and any of these colors. When it's white and it's open, what happens is you actually feel other people's fears. I'm just going to turn the camera around. All right, let's get you guys back. Sorry about that. I hit the wrong button. I'm so sorry if I lost you. Okay, so when it's not colored in, you feel the energy that comes from around you. So you're feeling other people's energy. And I always say it has a habit of manipulating how you are actually feeling at the time. So That's for those people that have got their charts and they, so you've got a better understanding of what in God's name it all means. So give me one moment because I'm just going to pull up some more information because as I just said before, what we're going to be going through is we're going through quite a few of these gates, and the fear of not being perfect is one of them. And I have this gate and I have it all defined, and it's something where even doing this today, I was like, oh my God, am I going to give, have I got all the right information? Have I said it correctly? Am I going to miss anything? Because I want you guys to get the most out of this so you know how to tackle these energies as it's coming through for the next, we've got another 5 weeks of the shit fest to go. Okay. And I've had a lot of people been asking me since my last video where I was explaining what was going on energy wise. And they've been saying, well, what's happening now? This is what's happening now. Okay. So it's going to be happening to you and everyone around you. All right, so let's start. So the gate 18, which is the fear of not being perfect. Well, we think that's pretty self-explanatory. But what happens is we're always afraid of getting it wrong and we're not doing something right. But what does right actually look like? So with this energy, this is the energy about the process. So what happens is you start to internalize this and you start going through it and you start looking at yourself and you're saying, I'm not perfect. And criticism is a big one here. So you've got self-criticism and you've got criticism of anybody that's around you because we have a fear of not being perfect. So all of us are going to have been probably in the last week or two been questioning ourselves, am I doing this right? Am I being perfect? What you need to do is you need to understand that this is actually a gift. Okay, so we need to switch it. So getting this not presentation, but getting this video ready for you guys, I'm like, I know the importance of what I'm about to tell you guys. I don't want to screw it up. This is human design. It's not something that I've really introduced to you guys on a Facebook Live as yet. And I start going through it and the criticism's coming up, or am I screwing it up? But what does perfection actually looks like? So what happens is when you internalize things, you start looking at yourself and you start to realize that you're not perfect and that you need to change the way that you look at yourself and change what's happening. So here's the deal. This is a gate that is designed to keep repeating things, and you're going to keep repeating things until you actually improve. So that's the positive in this one, because you're going to keep doing it till you improve. So the fear of not being perfect and the energy you would have been feeling for the last couple of weeks is about going through and keep repeating things until you find how to do something better and bring it to a much more joyful experience. So right now with the energies, we are experiencing the fear of inadequacy. And in fact, this came in around the 20th of September. And this is going to go through till mid-October. So the fear of not being perfect is going to happen all the way through till November, late November. I've got just some dates thrown down here. But right now we are in the fear of inadequacy. So what does that look like? So this is when you're basically telling yourself you're not good enough. Basically you don't know enough. So this is oh, I'm not able to do this, I can't do this, I need more. So what happens is with these people, they are constantly, these are the junkies, I call them. These are the ones that are constantly studying, they're constantly wanting to learn more and more and get more certificates over and over again. And, I just want more information, because you never feel that the information that you've got is enough. And basically you don't know when enough is enough. So what do you do with this? And what happens is when you've got this fear and inadequacy, you stop yourself from stepping out, okay, and sharing your wisdom, because you already have it, but you're stopping yourself from getting out there. So the positive vibration of this one is about the depth, okay? So with, with the fear, when we had the fear of not being perfect, the positive vibration is about improving things, because we're designed to keep repeating things to improve it. So when we look at your fear of inadequacy, which is what you'll be feeling right now, and you know, you've got to learn when enough is enough, you need to look at your depth. So you're quite deep. You have lots of wisdom, you have lots of knowledge. And the reality is what you know, most people don't know. So that's the beauty. So if you move from the inadequacy over to understanding that you have a level of wisdom and knowledge that most people don't have, is what you need to concentrate on. Okay, so that's shifting that vibration. We did experience around the end of was it September, and the 23rd of September, so the last week, the fear of the future was huge, and this is going to come up again, all right, over the next 6 weeks. So with the fear of the future, here's the reality. When you have this, look, we're all very intuitive and we have an ability to see the future, but what's happening is you're not trusting that what you're seeing in the future, that you're prepared for it. So we've got all this chat about, you know, climate change and all of this sort of stuff right now. And that fear of the future and that you're not ready, and the fact that you're constantly doubting yourself, that you're not ready, is what is going to hold you back. Because the reality is you're afraid of the unknown. Okay? And part of you wants to leap forward because, you know, but because you don't know what's out there, that's what's actually scaring you. So the beauty of the fear of the future and actually moving that vibrational energy is intuition. So those that have this gate active, you're very intuitive. Okay, so what happens is you see the whole picture. You can see what's coming. So why can't you just prepare for the future? So if you know climate change is coming, why can't you prepare for that and start doing things that you actually, you know, can do to assist and put your little part into, you know, the future of climate change, for example. Okay, so that's just an example. So the next gate that we're going to be moving in fact, we're in it right now, and this is going to happen right up until the start of November, is the biggie. Fear of failing. Oh my God. Okay. So this is the fear of, what if I don't succeed? And I can tell you, I have this gate in my chart. And because I have this gate, it's innately in me. And, you know, like, it's something that, you know, I have to constantly keep moving myself from the negative vibration into the positive. This is the, oh my God, what if I put myself out there? And don't forget, I have the perfecting one, and it's not perfect. And so because it's not perfect, I'm not going to succeed. And, you know, and look, this is about waiting for the right timing and trusting and knowing, you know, that because this one here, this fear of failing here, especially when you're experiential and you have a design that's very experiential, you need to think of the inventor. So all of the famous inventions, think about electricity, for example, you know, like these inventors, this is the thought that you can do something and succeed the first time. So I'm going to give you a reality check on the fear of failing. The idea of putting something out there and it being perfect first time around is quite frankly ridiculous. All of the good inventors out there, they sometimes had to do their tests hundreds or thousands of times before they got it right. Think of the Dyson vacuum cleaner. Oh my God, that's such an awesome story. And the guy who created some of our best products today, he actually had to do it hundreds of times before he got his invention right. The beauty of moving from the fear of failure is looking at the fact that you own what's called endurance. You create this muscle and you keep going, and when it's innately in you and you are defined in this area, you will keep freaking going, and you'll fail and you get right back up and you'll just keep going, and you'll continually do this because there is no room for failure. Okay, and you need to wait for the right timing sometimes to implement something. So if you can think of it in that way and go, all right, I might do something, it might not work, then I can see how I can improve it and try again. So right now we are feeling these energies and feeling the energies of, you know, the fear of failing, the imperfection, and today we're also feeling the fear of inadequacy. But how you deal with it for the next 6 weeks is going to be very defining for how you move forward. Okay, because you've got to remember your fear, the fear gates, which is what we're traveling through, it connects to your immune system. And this is all about your basic instincts. This is also where your intuition comes in. So this is a very powerful next 6 weeks of what we're going to journey through. Okay, so the next gate is the fear of failing others, and this is going to kick in around the 10th of October and go right through to the 8th of December. So with this one, it's the fear of failing others and your responsibilities. This is very tribal. This is a very tribal energy. So tribal energy is about family. So here, people tend to be on the negative, very overly responsible and sometimes codependent. So what happens is you get very paralyzed in your action because you're so scared that you're going to fail. Okay, so what happens is you may, for example, sit there and you go, I can't quit my job because maybe I might not be able to pay the bills, or I might not be able to feed the family. So this is a very tribal gate. The beauty of moving from this fear of failing in your responsibilities is moving into looking at your values. So we want to change this vibration. So really what you need to do is you need to sit in here, and you really need to sit down and have a good hard look at what are your values, and start prioritizing your values over all of the other things that you're wasting your energy on. And you need to make sure you're investing your energy in your values, and only in your values, so you can succeed. And what will happen is if you stop spending your energy on all this shit that's not even connected to your values, and you move just into looking at your values, this is what's going to happen. It'll make you stronger, and you will be so much more energetic aligned, because this is important to you. Okay, so we're talking about the next 6 weeks and all the fear gates that we're going to be going through. And right now, you know, this is huge. So I really want you guys to understand what you've been feeling, what you're feeling now, and what you're about to feel. And it's either going to be innately in you, or it's going to come from everybody around you. So you can step through these fear gates that are going to happen until, you know, the 8th of December, I think it is. And you can get through it successfully by moving your vibrational energy from the fear into the positive. So far, you know, we've covered, you know, that we've already started our fear of imperfection, already started weeks ago, you know, and you can see the beauty in improving. Right now we're sitting in the fear of inadequacy, and we want you to really look at your depth of your wisdom and your knowledge. So move that energy. We've got the fear of the future. I don't know what's going to happen, you know, and instead learning to really go into your intuition and take action there. We've got the fear of failing, which is the big one. And this one is, we're sitting in this energy right now, will happen up until the 5th of November. And with the fear of failing is understanding that you've got muscle, you've got endurance. And because you go out there, you do it, you fail, you do it again, you fail, you do it again, you fail, you will keep going till you get it right. And that's how things got invented, okay? Because all inventors had to do it over and over again. So you get endurance and you get muscle happening. We've got the fear of failing others, okay, and your responsibilities, moving that energy into really sitting down and looking at your values and only investing your energy in your values. It's how you're going to beat this. The next one that's going to come in is going to be the fear of things being hard and life has no meaning. This is going to be big for some of you, and depending on your chart is really going to depend on how much this is going to affect you. You know, this is, you know, you feel like I'm just here to struggle. I mean, why am I here? What am I doing? You know, and gets to the point of this massive fear of dying. And you sit there and it's just like, you know, and again, you'll go into that paralysis that I talked about earlier. And you'll be questioning, you know, like, what's the point? You know, especially if you're listening to the bullshit that's going on in social media and the climate and this and that, and you'll be sitting there, and if this is what your focus is, and if you focus on watching the news all the time, because the news is here to create fear, okay, then what's going to happen is you're going to get to the question, you're going to question, like, why am I here? You know, I'm doing all of this for nothing. What's the purpose? Okay, so you're constantly, when you're in the negative vibration of this, you're constantly looking for a deeper meaning. You're searching and you always want to understand. The reality is you are here to experiment with the meaning of life, okay? So if you're stuck in this energy and it's holding you back from sharing your gifts and your message out to the world, you know, you really need to move this into what we call tenacity. So the positive vibration of tenacity is you just keep fighting and you'll go through the experience and you'll learn what's wrong and what's worth sharing to the world. Tenacity is so, so important. It's such a beautiful thing to get your hands on and realize, you know, what is worth sharing. Because here's another reality. I look through my Facebook feed and see what's going on and what people are sharing, and most of it is just crap. It is absolutely crap. It's not even worth sharing. For me, I could do Facebook Lives all day, and I could talk about shit. I could talk about things that happen in my day. I have quite an interesting life, and I come across quite a few interesting characters, but the reality is I'm going to sit down, I'm going to do these when I really feel that this is worth sharing. And because these fear gates that we're about to go through, or we are in now, we're going through to the start of December, is going to affect every single person. This to me is really important because I want you to master this. 2018 through 2019, shit, we want to piss them off, but this is about creating your foundations right now for what's going to happen in 2020, because it will improve if you do the work, okay? So the last one we've got here is going to be gate 44. So we're going to move into the fear of the past. Seriously, I find this one funny because when you have a fear of the past, you constantly have you're stuck in this pattern. It's just like this circle pattern, okay? So you lived through the experience and it didn't work out, and I'm scared if I do it again, it's not going to work out. You know, when I see this one the most, and this is going to come up big, is people in relationships, single people, people that are in shitty relationships, the ones that you should have already left and packed your bags and gone, you know, like years ago. People who have, you know, stopped themselves from putting themselves out there and experiencing life with someone else. Because you know what? If you're watching this and you're one of these people, reality check. We are here to have experiences. We are here to experience love. Now, on that road, see all the other fears that we've been through and I've been talking about? You're going to go through that. But this one, the fear of the past. Do you know how many people I know have had a relationship and in their minds, I'm going to say it's in their minds, you know, their heart got broken and they've never moved past it and they've never gone into another relationship. And these are amazing people. And this could be you. So you're sitting there and you go, I don't need anybody. I'm happy being alone. Well, I love my own company. But the reality is that that's not what we are here to do as humans. We are not here to spend every night alone at home with the idiot box. That's not what we're here to do. So what happens is these people are so scared of the past and the fact that their heart got broken that they won't put themselves out there, and it's bullshit. You know, I mean, here's a reality. Let me explain to you. If you're not putting yourself out there because you have a fear of screwing up another relationship, because your fear is in the past, it's a fear of the past and things aren't, things aren't working, then let me tell you, you can rewrite that story. That's the beauty of this energy. So as we've been talking about the fear gates and the ones that we're